A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development at the G7 summit held in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, French Foreign Minister Jean-Noel Barrot has strongly condemned the recent U.S. military operations in the Caribbean, which have resulted in the deaths of at least 76 individuals. These operations, aimed at suspected drug trafficking vessels, have raised serious concerns regarding violations of international law. Barrot's remarks mark one of the most pointed criticisms from a G7 ally regarding the U.S. actions since they began in early September, with at least 19 strikes reported so far. The U.S. government has justified these military actions by labeling Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro as a narco-terrorist, alleging connections between his administration and drug cartels. The Trump administration has indicated that these military operations are part of a broader strategy to combat drug trafficking, citing the alarming rise in drug-related deaths in the United States, particularly from opioids. However, the legality and moral implications of such strikes have come under scrutiny, not only from France, but also from other nations and human rights organizations. Barrot emphasized the potential dangers posed to French citizens residing in the Caribbean, as instability in the region could have direct consequences for their safety. He stated, "We have observed with concern the military operations in the Caribbean region because they violate international law." This condemnation coincided with reports that the United Kingdom has suspended intelligence sharing with the U.S. concerning these operations, reflecting growing unease among allies about potential repercussions of being linked to these strikes. Colombian President Gustavo Petro also weighed in, announcing that he would halt intelligence cooperation with the U.S. until the boat attacks cease, stressing that the fight against drugs must respect the human rights of Caribbean people. Petro has previously accused U.S. officials of murder in relation to casualties from the strikes, including the death of an innocent fisherman. The backlash against U.S. military actions has not only come from foreign leaders, but also from within the U.S. itself. Former military officials and even current political leaders have voiced concerns over the legality and ethics of the strikes, questioning the due process involved. California Governor Gavin Newsom expressed his dismay at the situation, asking, "What happened to due process? What happened to the rule of law?" The U.S. military presence in the Caribbean has been bolstered recently, with the deployment of the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier and several warships, which some analysts view as an escalation of military operations in the region. Meanwhile, Venezuela has conducted its own military drills in response to the U.S. actions. The legal justification for the strikes relies heavily on the claim that individuals aboard the drug-carrying vessels can be classified as enemy combatants. This controversial stance has drawn criticism, especially given the historical context of U.S. military interventions in Latin America, which have often led to tragic outcomes and civilian casualties. As the situation develops, the international community watches closely, with calls for investigations into the U.S. strikes growing louder. The implications of these military actions extend beyond immediate geopolitical tensions. They also raise fundamental questions about human rights, international law, and the responsibilities of nations in addressing global drug trafficking. The upcoming discussions in the G7 will likely reflect these tensions, as foreign ministers navigate the complex landscape of international relations amidst rising military actions and ethical dilemmas. The world awaits to see how these discussions will unfold and what actions will be taken to address the growing concerns surrounding U.S. military operations in the Caribbean. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.